What's up, Epic 7? Tristen Wulf here, and I want to talk about the news that dropped last night, the updates, the second half of the anniversary, the insane amount of stuff that is heading our way. Now, it was a long podcast last night, and if you want to check out step by step, blow for blow, the narrated version of that podcast, check the link in the description of this video to the complete podcast of the Epic 7th anniversary reveal. But we're just going to go over the highlights and make sure those of you who missed it are up with what's going on, explain to you how to get the rewards and what is coming our way. And speaking of rewards, first things first, you want to make sure that you go to the coupon site and you enter Epic 7 Thank You Heirs and also E7WC 2025 underscore emoji underscore MLRAS. I know it's a mouthful. Those will be in the description of the video as well. The second one, of course, gets you a RAS emoji, which you're going to need. You need countless RAS emotes to emote your opponents when you do RTA, am I right? And the second one is loaded with loot. 100 Molagora, an ML5 ticket, not a selector, guaranteed ML5 ticket, 77 gold transmit stones so that you can use those on the next Mystic banner and on the next Mystic unit who needs those gold transmit stones for imprints, and get this, a 20 speed HP neck. 20 speed on a speed set, HP main stat neck. Oh my God. Nobody can complain anymore about not having any gear that's 20 speed, am I right? So make sure you do this. Now, to redeem these coupons, you'll need to go to a coupon redemption site. There's 3 ways to do that. First, if you're on an Android device or Android emulator, you can click on the little boxes in the upper right-hand corner and click on this little guy right here, this little sign. And that'll take you to this page. Scroll all the way to the bottom and there's a go to enter coupon button. You can click on that button and go straight to enter the coupon, but this only works if you're on an Android device or Android based emulator. Those of you who are on a PC client, what you're going to want to do is fire up your PC client. And I know it's a little hard to see, it's tiny text, but up here in the upper corner, right up here, right all the way up here, see the cursor moving? There's your name. Click on your name, and halfway down the list is going to be the word coupon. So click on that button that says the word coupon. That's going to fire up a website that will take you to a coupon redemption site that is hard linked to your Stove site. Here you select the game from the drop down area, so you're going to select Epic 7. You're going to enter your coupon code here, so Epic 7 Thank You Heirs, and then click OK. It's going to say the coupon has been added to your box, and down here the coupon will appear in your box. All you need to do here is you click on the coupon in your box, and from the drop down you'll select the account that you want that coupon applied to, and just select your account and boom, it'll be applied in game. Now, if you have done this already and you selected it and it said that the coupon has been redeemed but it doesn't show up in this box, you're going to want to go up here and click on the My Info button, okay, and then go down to coupon box, click this, and that's going to refresh this page. Select Epic 7 and it will refresh and show the coupon in the box collected there. Sometimes you got to do that. The site was pretty overloaded last night. For those of you who like, I collected it last night but I never got the rewards, those are the steps, okay? Just go click on My Info, go to coupon box, and then find it here. Click on it here, add it to your account. For those of you who are on Apple devices, and this also works for people who are on the PC client, you can go straight to the coupon redemption site. So you can literally just Google Epic 7 coupon to find it, but there'll be a link in the description of this video. Go to that site. You'll have to log into Stove. If you're already logged in, it'll finish logging you in. You just want to select the server you're on, select global. Your name should drop in. If your name doesn't drop in, you're going to want to make sure you log into Stove or just use the PC client login. Enter your coupon code here, hit submit, and you are good to go. So those are 3 ways to get your coupons. So make sure you do this so you can get those sweet rewards. Don't miss out on your emoji, your ML5 ticket, your tons of Molagora, your tons of gold transmit stones. Now that we've gone over the immediate rewards, I want to talk about the impressive things that dropped. Now, I'm going to go over these real quick. Consider it like a cliff notes, a quick review of what happened. You want to check out the link in the description of the video for the full podcast if you want to see every little bit blow by blow, as well as our reactions and the direct discussions from the developers. I'm going to breeze over the main talking points just to get you guys up to speed. First things first, It has happened. Smilegate has abandoned this pre-pandemic BS of paying to unequip stuff. That's right. We now have permanent free unequip forever. No more unequip events, because it's always an unequip event. You will never again pay to remove gear from your heroes. Free unequip across the board. Next, we are getting savable gear loadouts. Now, it's not as simple of a system as saving a gear loadout, but actually restoring units and even teams to a previous gear state. So you'll be able to click on it and go back and look at how the units were geared in the past, select it, and boom, move the gear around. So the two biggest asks from the community, free unequip and savable gear loadouts, that optimization is here. Next, guys, and holy crap, Deity was right. ML Ross, Genesis Ross, is a free unit. Starting August 28th, you will be able to do the Genesis Ross event, and by grinding some in-game stuff, you will be able to get him for free. Mind blown. I owe Deity some subs. He wins that bet. And next, they revealed the new Mystic Summon, the new ML5 unit, Lady of the Scales Mercedes, who is as beautiful as she is terrifying. I am about it. Her story looks great. Her art looks even better. The art department knocking it out of the park. She will be available for summon on the next Mystic rotation, which I believe is at the end of this month. Now, they're also coming up with new sorting features that will help players more intuitively filter out the chaff from the grain, so that you can, what I'm trying to say is they're going to make it easier to find the crap on your account, to sell that unwanted, unneeded, unusable gear, and make it a little bit easier to maintain your inventory. So new gear management systems are coming to make it a little bit more intuitive, especially for newer players, to help them figure out what to keep and what to get rid of. And also, one of the biggest questions I get asked all the time is, who's this piece of gear used for? It's almost a game. Who the heck uses this? Well, one of the things they're adding is an automatic feature where after you roll a piece of gear, it's going to give you recommendations on the heroes that would use that stat spread on that type of a piece of gear to make it easier to figure out, hey, where does this piece of gear go? The gear skull rolled great, but it's not obvious to me. Well, now the game's going to help you figure that out. So that also is going to be amazing for newer players. Now, before you get too excited, remember, this is going to take a little bit of development. The goalpost is to have these two features added by the end of the year. So these aren't coming right away, but they are coming soon. Next, they're going to make team building a little bit more accessible, especially to starting players. They're going to remove the team setup system where you have team slots that you paid for with Skystones, and they're moving to a system that's more like expeditions, more like constellations, where each aspect of the game has its own specific team loadouts, so you don't have to constantly be moving teams around and sharing all your teams with specific spots. So expect to have your team loadouts be a little bit easier, a little bit less of a pain in the butt, and also people who've been playing under a year, any Skystones that they've spent on those team slots will be refunded. I guess the rest of us just are hosed, but hey, it is what it is. That's going to make that a little cleaner, more intuitive. RIP my really fun team slot names. That too is also coming down the road, not immediately, but what is coming immediately, starting August 28th, Spirit Altar will be open 24/7. No more like, oh, I can't awaken this hero because it's Wednesday and I need the runes that pop out on Tuesday. Now, 24/7, 365, all Spirit Altars open all the time. Now, I hope you're sitting down for this one. They're adding 2 new gear sets to the game. 2 new gear sets. They're adding the Reversal set, which gives 15% speed boost. So it's kind of like a minor speed set. It's a 4-piece set. You can't wear it with speed set. And what this set does is when you are revived, anytime you're revived, you will come back to life with a 50% CR push. So you give up a little bit of speed for the ability to surprise your opponents by almost immediately taking a turn upon revival. So that's going to be a nasty set, probably especially for Genesis Ross. And they're coming up with the Riposte set. The Riposte set has a 70% chance to counterattack if you evade. Rylet, anybody? Oh my god, this set on Rylet, on Afternoon Soak Flan, the Riposte set is going to be brutal, and it's really going to usher in a whole new age of an evasion meta. So these 2 4-piece sets are coming to the game at a later date, so be ready for that. Now, you may be saying, wow, Smilegate really doesn't respect our time. That's even more farming. It's even more stuff to do in the game. Well, they're addressing that too. First of all, this gear won't come from hunts. It's going to come from a new system called Otherworld Breach, which will rely on a new currency, and it is very stamina expensive, but the drop rate is huge. So you're going to be able to get a lot of gear for that a lot of stamina, reducing the amount of time you have to spend in Otherworld Breach. In fact, they're going to be increasing the stamina costs of almost all of the hunts and significantly increasing the drop rates commensurate with it. Think of it like a 2x farming event non-stop, right? Instead of spending 40 stamina, maybe you spend 80 stamina, but you get double drops. That way you can spend less time farming and more time doing what you want to do in the game. And as an added perk, they're going to increase the daily stamina cap to 360 stamina at level 70 to make it easier to stack up the stamina so you can do your burst farming. Huge quality of life changes that are very respectable over time and reduce the fatigue that players are feeling from having to spend so much time just getting their dailies done. In addition to all of this, they're going to be adding a whole new tier of gear called Otherworldly tier. Now, this isn't like level 100 gear or anything crazy like that, but it's a new tier of gear that cannot have integer-based stats. What that means is no flat stats. This gear will have no flats other than, of course, left side main and speed. Also, it will only roll in the higher range. No more 2-speed rolls on your red pieces, guys. It's going to be much better quality gear, much higher rolled gear, and they're adding a otherworldly level to the hunts as well. So you're going to have a 4th tier of difficulty to get this better quality gear at a higher cost to enter, to reduce your farming time and get you better gear to allow you to advance faster, catch up faster, and enjoy the game faster. Also, to help deal with the fact that gold and charms are such an issue right now, they are looking down the road sometime this year putting in a gold and charm farming dungeon. So we're excited to find more ways to farm charms gold. Thank goodness they're addressing those issues. And starting on September 11th, they're going to increase your gear inventory slots by 200. So you're going to have 200 more gear inventory slots to be able to hold all this new gear you're farming. They acknowledge the fact that the Ogre's Armory is hot garbage and nobody cares about it, so they are looking into ways in the future, we're talking sometime later this year, of improving and revamping the Ogre's Armory to make it something that's, more fun and useful and engaging for the community. They also went ahead, grabbed the bull by the horns, and addressed 15% in the game. Now, they did say that right now they have no intention of removing 15% from PvP, and they are looking at ways to improve PvE to add additional mechanics to try to lessen or reduce or eliminate the impact of 15% on PvE. They didn't go into details on that, but they're aware this is a big community ask, and it is something they're looking into addressing and finding ways to help satisfy the community on this issue. And then they finished it off by giving us a roadmap of the future, like all the way from now until the end of December. They're coming out with new story content called Phantasmal Barrier. They talked about the Guild War tournaments that are coming up for the top 32 guilds that placed in Guild Wars. They have new PvE content called Monolith Showdown. No idea what that is, but that's coming too. And they mentioned that episode 7 is coming by the end of the year, so we're gonna have a whole new episode starting as well. They weren't willing to show it all at once, but hey, they can't just show us everything all at once, right? They're gonna show it in future updates as we move throughout the year. That was basically it for what's coming new to the game right now. Then we went into a little bit more of a deep dive. We had a discussion with the developers of the balance team. They explained to us how the balancing process works, how they balance and rebalance heroes. They talked about nerfs versus buffs and their plans for the future. So that was very interesting. You can check that in the long version of the podcast linked in the description of this video. Then we got to meet with business director Jin Oh and director Tak Guanjin. And it's the first time we've had both directors in the same place. And they gave us a lot of info about what's going on in Epic 7 and what's going on in the future. They talked about the importance of communication and being more open with us, the importance of roadmaps. They addressed the Asmakalis lack of communication, as well as giving us info about what's coming in the future. They talked about for the anniversary, we're going to have a special server-wide event called the Super Cake event, where everyone on your server is going to work to complete this event, and it is loaded with rewards. There's a slate, there's a bottle of knowledge, there's a ton of elemental bookmark summons, there's 900 of the special limited use mystic medals that'll be out there, 6,000 stamina, lots of good stuff. And here's the best part, guys. Part of that cake event, one of the rewards is a ML boss selector ticket. It's a boss selector. So by that I mean you could pick up Harsetti, you could pick up Zeo, you could pick up Bellion, you could pick up Strays, you could pick up Archdemon Shadow. You've got choice. You can select one of those 5 ML5 units and add them to your account. I will do a tier list, then maybe less of a tier list and more of a discussion on my opinions on which ones you might want to get based on your gear level, your style of play, and all that kind of good stuff. We'll put that in another video, but hey, coming your way, part of this anniversary. Now, for those of you who've been out there for a while, you've pulled a whole bunch of stuff. You got a ton of Galaxy coins stacked up. They've addressed the issue where people say it feels really bad that they can't get the heroes they want, that only having 3 heroes in the Galaxy shop rotation feels kind of bad. So there are plans to revamp the Galaxy and Covenant coin shops, where instead of there just being rotating units, they're going to say units that are older than a certain age will just be available, and you can use that currency to select them. So like, say for example, you don't have Fallen Cecilia. Well, she came out in 2019. She's definitely going to be in that pool. Now, how far back they're going to consider old enough to just be selectable from the Galaxy shop, that we'll have to wait and see. But no more sitting there waiting going, oh god, still no FCC. I guess I'll wait another 45 days for the next rotation. That's right, the Galaxy shop, for you whales out there, for you veterans out there who are sitting on a ton of Galaxy and Covenant coins, those shops are going to be revamped, and that is great news. Now, another thing that's interesting, they kind of hinted at, this is maybe way down the road, maybe even early 2026, but they talked about doing more frequent online tournaments, little sub-terms to get people ready for competing in things like the World Cup, but on a smaller scale, smaller pools within the game with individual rewards. And this is actually huge. I've played in other games that do this, and it is so much fun. So we're looking forward to that. They talked about offline events that are going on, how they increased the venue size for the E7 World Cup to a stadium that will seat 1,000 people. It's almost 3 times as much. No, it's more than 3 times as much as last year. And tickets are going on sale for that. If you want to go to Seoul, Korea to witness the World Cup, they will have ticket sales for that. They're also doing a concert where they'll have a symphony concert. Tickets for that are going on sale as well. Details for that will be published on the Stove website. They are investing in more cosplayers and more swag and more giveaways and more purchasable. So lots of new things coming on that angle. They are planning on doing more offline events. They're looking at some things to do for the global side for people that can't necessarily make it to Korea. They're looking to do more stuff worldwide. So they are addressing that as well. So that's really nice. They're putting that kind of effort and love back into the community in a post-pandemic world. Then they dropped a little bit of a bomb that freaked some people out. They announced a collaboration with a chain of convenience stores in Korea called E-Mart, and a lot of people are like, what, that's our collab? No, guys. Games do this all the time. They collab with local stores. They're going to have food that reflects in the game. It'll be fun on a local level for the people in Korea. We asked them, they were asked directly about, what's going on with the collab, like when are we going to get a global collaboration? And they said that is coming soon. They wouldn't tell us any details, but they did say soon. Now, I know people are like, oh, but they've been saying that for a while. No, they've been discreetly hinting at that for a while. This is the first time both directors looked at the camera and said collab is coming soon. No details on that. Hopefully more information soon. And finally, we met with the CEO, Kim Hyung-suk, who went over his vision for the future of Epic 7, who talked about how he wants the game to feel like a more comfortable home place, less like homework and more fun, to keep people engaged, to address PvE, to make it feel like less of a grind and more rewarding, to come up with ways and tournaments, arbiter missions, and in-game mini tournaments to make the game more fun and more engaging, so that you'll spend more time doing the things that you want to do and less time feeling like you're stuck in a grind. He also talked about how they're going to restructure the adventure and chapter to make the units that are on the banner be more impactful in the story. So whatever is happening in the story is going to involve the units that are on the banner to give a more cohesive feel to Epic 7, which is a really nice touch. And with that, they brought a close to the Epic 7 second half of the anniversary announcement. 7th anniversary, 7 years, 7 strong, 10-year plan, 20-year plan. They even said a 100-year plan. That's right. We're not going anywhere, guys. What an amazing anniversary. What a great time. All you guys who joined in, I appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you check out the long form video linked in the description so you can see the entire podcast. After that, we slid right into the World Cup, which was amazing. If you missed it, I will put up a podcast of the World Cup fights as well. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. If you have any guesses what you think the collab's going to be? Put those in the comment section as well. I'm interested to see what you guys think the new collab that's coming soon will be. You take care, Epic 7. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll talk to you later.